Alright, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to Apex Mindset. Or actually not welcome back, because this is our first video. But I'm D, and this is T.
Good morning, guys.
And the angle might be a little crooked, but I'll show y'all real quick. It's because we're on a treehouse right now. See?
It's a good day today, baby.
Catching the sunrise.
Let's go.
But anyways,
Who are we?
who are we?
What do we do?
So that's going to be another video.
Oh.
But
Stay tuned.
this video is going to be talking about things to consider when starting a business. And if y'all don't know, we just recently started a business together called Apex Mindset. Basically, I don't want to say too much of what we do. I'll leave that for the next video. Explain who we are, what we do, why we do it. But let's stay on track. Today, we're talking about things to consider when starting a business. So the first thing you want to think about is what kind of business you want to start. So,
Niche.
Yeah, it could be a niche. I'm talking about that in a little bit. But we got to talk about what kind of business you want to start. There's a lot of businesses in this world. Basically, if you think about it, everything in life is almost like a transaction, So if you think about it, everything is a business. Some of the common ones, people start e-commerce. E-commerce is a big one right now. Basically online businesses. But you can have a brick and mortar business too, like where people come into your building and you give them a product or you give them a service. So you got to think about what kind of business you want to run.
Would you say some businesses have benefits of starting over others?
Definitely some businesses have benefits. For example, if you were to start an online business, you don't have to pay for rent. You usually don't have to pay for an LLC until you're starting to get taxed, or until you have a lot of employees. But then also some benefits of starting a business in person, like having an actual building, is that it's almost like free traffic. People see your building and they're gonna be like, "What's that?" And they're gonna walk in. You have anything you want to add?
No. That kind of ties into like the next point is initial cost, right? So what kind of business you want to start? Honestly, there's a few ways to go about it, right? The business we started, we had to learn a few new skills, but it was very easy to tie in the skills that we already had.
Right.
It had something to do with what we were interested in. So it's not like, obviously we want to be more financially stable, which is why we started the business, but it's also something we're genuinely interested in. But the next point,
so after initial cost, find out what kind of business you want to run, how much you're going to have to pay for that business. And then you got to start thinking about why you want to run that business.
Before you get to that point, initial costs. There's a lot of initial costs that business owners overlook. All right, so now you're going to have to consider if you have a website, if you have an office, if you're going to buy an LLC, then you got to get that LLC tax filed, and then you got to get an agent for that LLC. And there was a few things that we missed. And we're like, dude, what? We felt scammed, but probably if we would have done a little bit more research, we would have not.
But that's actually going to be a video I'm posting on my personal channel later today about taking action. A lot of people, when they have big plans, they get comfortable just planning. Every day, just planning, doing research. And I was kind of at that point too. The business that we started, I started researching about it early December. And we didn't start it until like mid-February or like late February. So it took me a good 2.5 months to basically tell myself that, okay, it's good to do research, but at the same time, you're not going to learn until you actually do it. So that's how I was like, screw it, we're going to do it. So that's why we started.
Before we get to the next point, that is a good point, because one of the reasons why I wasn't starting is because I was like, I was more so in a fear mindset, right? because I was like, all right, I don't have time to start a business. I need to start a business. And it's good to be smart and plan things out, but also, like you were saying, you got to take action. So one day I just decided, first of all, I quit the job I was at, and I got a new job that kind of tied into what we were doing. And then just from putting in my mind that I'm set and I'm gonna succeed at this, everything that was kind of holding me back, I was forced to face and forced to overcome. And so far, doing better than ever, making more money than ever. Life is just better than ever.
It's beautiful.
So have faith in yourself. And sometimes especially if you're watching this, that means you're probably an entrepreneur. This is your sign to just take that leap. But if you're gonna take that leap, commit, right? You can't just jump half-ass because you're not gonna make the leap. You gotta jump with all your heart so you can make the gap. But the next point is why you want to start the business. So things to consider, like, do you want to make more money? Do you want to quit your 9 to 5? Do you want to start a nonprofit so you could donate to charity? What are other things? What are things you considered?
So a lot of people, when it comes to like running a business, they say that you need to follow your passion. You need to do something that you like. And it kind of ties into why you want to start the business too. If the business is to, like he said, bring in more money or give you more time or help people, you kind of have to keep that in your mind. That is going to be your passion. That is going to be the driving force. I know for us, for any business, when you start off, it's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of effort.
How much time?
All day. Like, all my free time basically goes to our business.
How many sleepless nights have we had?
So he actually does like all-nighters. I don't do all-nighters because it just messes up my sleep schedule. So I've had, since we started this business, I've pulled 2 all-nighters, but I know he has pulled a lot more. But like I said, that kind of becomes your passion, your why you wanted to start. It doesn't have to be, because I know a lot of girls our age, they start like nail businesses, where they do nails. And a lot of them do nails because they like nails and that's their passion. But just because you like something, that doesn't have to be your passion. Like I said, you have to think about, okay, why am I really starting this business? And then whenever you get unmotivated or whenever you feel like, man, I just want to quit, remember your why. Remember why you started, and let that be the driving force into continuing the business.
It almost, honestly, one way I started looking at it is it almost becomes like a hobby or like a game. So I don't know how to put this without sounding materialistic, because maybe it might be materialistic. I'm just gonna be honest, but watching my bank account go up is it's validating in a way, but it's like beating your high score on a video game. Because I used to be a mad gamer, and I'm always trying to beat my high score on shit. But just when you look at your bank account like a game, right? You grind just like a video game. You grind a video game, and your high score goes up, your XP goes up. My bad. You grind life. You grind your business. Your bank account goes up, and you gotta work long, hard hours. But I know it's gonna pay off. I know that 15 hours a day, and the check that comes with it is badass. And I see my bank account go up, and I'm yeah. So that becomes fun to me. Things that aren't getting me there, they're not fun because it's not what's driving me. So if you're starting a business, the business might not be for you, because like he said, it takes time. When we first started, I was one of the hardest. I'm not trying to hype myself up, but I was one of the hardest working people I knew. But then I started working with this guy, and this guy was like pulling like he had like 6 more hours in the tank than me, like for like the first 3 days, and I was like, bro, what the frick is this guy on? So then it put in my mind like I really had to step up like my work ethic, because especially if you're starting a business on your own, or you're just a small team, you're gonna quickly realize things that you're not good at, because you can only be good at so much and have a workflow for so much before life kicks you in the butt and says, hey, you got to get better at this. And for me, it was, I was good at pushing myself physically, pushing myself in a workflow state, but learning, like the act of like learning new things and implementing new things, it was more physically taxing for me and mentally draining for me. So he'd be going for like 6 hours and I'd be 2 hours in. I'm like, dude, I can't do this anymore. My brain would just be fried. And it was like that for like the first week before I finally like adjusted, and now I'm able to outwork him some days. But there's some days I outwork him, and there's days where he's just there on the fucking computer for like literally the whole day, from like the time he wakes up to the time he goes to sleep. So you're gonna have time put aside.
And you're also gonna have to have a good mindset, and that's why we're starting this YouTube channel too. That's why we started our business. Yes, our business, I'll give you all a little sneak peek. Our business, we help other businesses. But I mean, that's pretty broad, that's pretty general. But I mean, obviously,
our business is online too.
Yeah, obviously, like, we do it for the money, but we also do it because we like helping people.
And not to sound corny.
Yeah. But like I get some kind of like, what happened?
I think that was your wallet.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
My wallet's gone.
It's okay.
But we'll go find it later. But like I was saying, I get some kind of like almost like dopamine when I see that I helped someone, or I told someone some advice, or I gave someone some tips or some strategies, and they used it, and they use that to get more happiness in their life. That brings me happiness.
It's actually serotonin.
Or serotonin. This guy is Mr. Scientist over here. He's actually writing a book. But the next point is have a good mindset. That's what I want to talk about. And definitely, I saw some entrepreneurs say this on YouTube once. He was like, being poor is hard, but being rich is also hard. You just have to pick your hard, People say life is hard. Yeah, life is hard for everybody. All those people that you see on Instagram flexing their cars, flexing their boats, their $1 million houses, it's not like that all the time. They're just doing that for marketing. They're just doing that to get more clients. In all reality, they're working 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day. When you're an entrepreneur, when you're a business owner, you don't have an 8-hour shift and then you clock out. You're working 24/7 basically. As soon as you wake up to the second you go to sleep, you're working. So you have to pick your heart. Like for me, for example, right now I'm 18. I'm in college. I work 2 jobs. And then on top of that, I'm working on the business. And then on top of that, I want to have time for myself, like going to the gym, hanging out with my friends, watching the sunrise, stuff like that. And I know he's really busy too. So it's all about, yes, it's hard, but you have to pick your hard. Do you want to live in a way where you're paying, or you're living paycheck to paycheck and you can't do anything for fun because you have to pay for bills? Or do you want to work, like we're doing 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day on something that's bringing us more revenue? So it's really, you have to pick your heart. You have to pick what kind of lifestyle you want to live.
Think about it. One way, one of my mentors put it is, would you rather have a shitty life by choice for 5 years and then never have to worry about anything ever again, or a shitty life, not by choice, for the rest of your life, right? Because if you do something that sucks every day for 5 years or 3 years, however long it takes most people 3 to 5 years, right? If you do something that sucks every day for 3 to 5 years, at least you know that it's gonna pay off. But if you're doing just nothing about it, like nothing, like you're just like letting life manhandle you, the fact that you can be taking action and aren't, you have no one to blame but yourself. But this is not going to become a lecture on why you should take action.
Yeah.
That's for his video later.
Yeah.
This video is about...
And we don't want to make it too long. We're already at 15 minutes.
Yeah,
so I'm going to leave y'all with one more tip or one more thing to think about. It's not going to be easy, straight up. All those people you see advertising, oh, it's so easy, especially like with drop shipping. I know, because that's how I got pulled into it. It's easy, you know? All you do is you just put a thing on your website, people buy it, and you get money for it. Like, super easy. Like, they break it down, they dumb it down. But in all reality, no business is easy. That's just the end. Like, that's it. Like, it's not easy.
Especially if you're just starting. Like me and Devon, we're just starting out, and we're not the first business of our kind. We're doing something a little bit differently, but there's whole teams that have already perfected what they do, and so teams meaning like you have a person doing this, a person doing that, this, that, boom, 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 boom. Teams of 50, teams of 100. We're just a team of 2, and that's what we're competing with. That's who we have to outwork.
Yeah, but all those people, all those big businesses, they started somewhere too, you know? They started in our position, and somehow they got to where they are today.
Persistence and patience.
Exactly, persistence and patience. So it kind of ties into, it's not going to be easy. You have to think in the long term, you know? It's not going to be a get-rich-quick thing. You have to really put your time in, put your focus in, and put the effort in to make your business what you want to make it. Is there anything you want to add to that? Kind of close it off.
The last thing that I'll add to that is, if you're watching this and you're considering, starting a business, if you're a young entrepreneur, an old entrepreneur, and you haven't started yet, that means you're gonna have to make changes. Inevitably, the reason why you haven't got there, or you haven't done it, or you're afraid of taking action, especially if you've been considering it for a while and you haven't, that tells me that there's changes you have to make to get you out of a scarce mindset, right? So they'll be linked to my channel and his channel. We have our own personal channels. For mine is, check out the videos. You'll see.
They're pretty good.
Check out his videos, you'll see. But you're gonna wanna change the way you think, because to leave it, right, there's 2 kinds of people. There's winners and there's losers. And there's literally a whole science behind the mindset that these people have. Anyone that succeed is in a winner's mindset. You need to shift into this mindset. You need to shift into an apex mindset. More on that in videos to come.
All right, that's gonna be it for today. Hope y'all have a good day. Oh, that glow is crazy. Oh my God. All right, but yeah, like I said, I hope y'all have a good day, and we'll catch y'all in the next one.